Aloha everyone. Today is August the 4th, 2017, and this is the Nexxus Partners Core Team Community Call. We welcome everybody here today. It's another fantastic call we're going to have. You should see this agenda, so sit back and enjoy. Take notes if you want to. I'm sure Michael Bailey will be taking notes as well. I'm Kelly B, and I'm glad to be here with you today, and I've got my partner here, cryptocurrency partner, Kelly Ann. How are you today?
I am very well, thank you. I do have a smile going from ear to ear.
As always. And Gary's on the road today. Hey, Gary, I cannot move you over, but we are glad you are here by audio, and we've got Bill on the line today. Hey, Bill.
Hey, in the famous words of Fred Flintstone, yabba dabba doo.
I know you guys have been super busy this week, so I know you've got a smile on your face as well. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Good morning, Kelly. Doing great. Had a busy week and a lot of great information to share with everyone today, as always.
I know. I'm super excited myself to find out all about it. So, well, as we always like to do, let's start by recognizing some people that have passed some, become CCS this week or passed some other exams. Do you have anybody that emailed in this week?
No one we've received emails on, so let's just leave it open for the field there if anyone wants to make comments.
All right. So, if any of you have anybody you'd like to recognize, yourself or your team, that passed any certifications this week, just let us know.
And if they have, be sure and send in an email.
That's right. Send in an email to sales@nexxusrewards.com and let us know what you've passed, especially if you've passed all three exams, and with your zip code and how many hours you'll be willing to work in the field per week, so we'll know what we have as far as zip codes go.
That's the zip code of where you're going to be working, not necessarily where you live, unless they be one and the same.
Exactly. Thanks for that clarification. All right, and I will make a note too. We have back office training tomorrow, August 5th, and I did put the link in the chat here. If you have access to the chat, it's there. I can also post this down, and Mark Hutchison asked for that link, so I can post that here as well. So anyway. All right, then. Well, let's get going. I don't see anybody else with that's got their hand raised to recognize anyone, so we will move on. But we can always address that later if something comes up. All right, so let's talk about the Nexxus token, the old Nexxus token, the new Nexxus token, Bob.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a house cleaning I'd like to do first, get that cleared up here on the call. We sent out an email to everyone yesterday who has received any Nexxus tokens at all. Just to reiterate what we had communicated earlier, is that we have the new Nexxus token and do not do any trading with the old Nexxus token. If you're going into MyEther wallet, you should not have to do an add custom token. If you have an NXX balance and it has a negative sign in a circle to the left of it, then you need to delete that. Click on that minus sign circle, and it will delete it, and then reload your wallet. MyEther wallet recognizes the new Nexxus token as a default token, and it'll automatically pop up there. So if you're seeing a circle with a minus sign, that is a balance on the old token. You want to delete that completely. The other area is Ether Delta, where you go and do trading. When you go to do trading, do not select other token to add for the trading, because the NXX trading symbol is also one of the default tokens in Ether Delta. So it is on the list automatically, so you shouldn't have to add anything custom or manual to MyEther wallet or Ether Delta, because the Nexxus NXX token is recognized by both of those tools as a default token in there. But we've had some issues with some people who were still trading. One individual I was working with, he had added the token manual in Ether Delta, and then he just had his computer running. It just left his computer running for several days, so he kind of got caught still with the old token up there. So we sent a reminder to everyone and just wanted to reiterate that on the call today. Do not do any trading or anything with the old token. Make sure you're using the NXX token that comes up by default now in My Ether Wallet and in Ether Delta.
All right, that sounds great. There was also a great little addition in my wallet this week, and that was the interest that we received for July.
Yep. We ran all the calculations on the interest, and every Nexxus token holder received 0.5% of interest of their minimum monthly balance for the month of July. Now, we did not consider a zero balance for the month before you got your initial transfer as part of your minimum monthly balance for July, since you just got that. But moving forward, we got a little static on the line here. Someone wants to mute out.
I know I can't figure out where it's coming from. Oh, it's Gary.
It's coming from me. I'm trying to mute. Go ahead and mute me, please.
Okay, we got him. Yeah, he's driving. It sounded like car noise.
Oh no, I thought we wouldn't have to listen to him today.
We got it. We didn't. We just turned his mic off. So the interest was paid, and
you were going to say what is going to go forward though with the interest if it's a zero balance when they first initially.
That's right. So for the month of July, we did not consider any point in time where you had a zero balance, which would be before you received your initial deposit of tokens. We did not consider that for July. But moving forward in August and forward, we're going to look at every second of the month and look at what your balance was, and you get paid on your minimum monthly balance. So if you open up a new wallet in the middle of the month, then you're going to reflect a monthly minimum balance of zero on that wallet. So anytime a new wallet is created, you're automatically going to have a minimum balance of zero. So you're not going to get interest on that first month. So that's how it's going to work. It's going to look at your minimum monthly balance every month moving forward. But all interest was paid on the, some was paid on the first, and I think the balance was paid on the second. It is a manual process we go through. So it is a little laborious. We're working on, it is automated, but still the sending of the tokens and then the confirming that the tokens actually got sent, because not all transactions on the blockchain get picked up. Every once in a while, a transaction doesn't get picked up, by a miner and doesn't get included in a block, and it just disappears. That's something that I think the industry will have to do a better job of, so we have more consistency in it. But that happens. We found as we were doing large volumes of transfers to these interests that some of the transactions were just disappearing. So we had to go through and double and triple check everything to confirm that they actually hit the wallet they were intended for.
All right, that sounds good. And for those, Michael makes a good note here. For those not sure which is the old and which is the new, the old Nexxus token is 0x0 or OXO, I guess it is, and the new one is OX5. So that's what it begins with. So you can check that. He said you can also check it on the token address as well. So anyway, if you're not sure, just check that, and you can determine which is the old and the new.
Yeah, the email that we sent out to everyone, I included the specifications on the new token. So it's called a contract address. That's the address of the smart contract for the new Nexxus token. That was in that email. You can also in Etherscan, you can go to token search and just type in NXX, and two options will come up. One will be the Nexxus token, and then the second will be Nexxus old token. So Etherscan has gone in and labeled the old token for us as the Nexxus old token. So you can distinguish between the old and new that way also.
All right, fantastic. Very exciting. All right, so moving on, we've had a little change in our management. Bob, would you like to discuss that?
Yes, we have. We've been working through the details of this. Questions have risen about our International Marketing Director, John Rustin. a couple of weeks ago, he sent a notice into us, the management team, letting us know that he was resigning from the company. We were disappointed that he wasn't willing or able to fulfill his commitments he made to us. But in doing further research, we found that he's actually moved on to create his own cryptocurrency company, not competing with Nexxus, but just selling advertising and marketing services to businesses around cryptocurrency. So if there's any question about that, he is no longer associated with Nexxus Partners, Nexxus University, and has no affiliation with Nexxus, just so everyone's aware of that.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. Well, how about other questions that have been arising? How's our new building come along? And so if you'll update us on the new building.
We are excited about the new building. I was just showing some of the new building last Friday. We had drove by the new building. There happened to be a maintenance person that was working on the building. We were able to go inside, walk around, and show our guests the new building. So it's and he was very, very impressed with the building and said, "Man, this is perfect. This is a great building. We've got a great deal in the building. We're just still working through the details. There'll be a time when construction has to be done. We're waiting on the final lease from the owner on the building so we can get that executed and move forward." But so plans are still full speed ahead, but in business, as they say, things never happen as quick as you plan, and they always cost twice as much as you plan. So that's just business. But that's where we're at on the new building move-in.
All right. Well, I know we're all excited about that, and I know you guys have been working hard on that. So when it happens, it happens. But we're building a great company here, so no worries there. Just very exciting. All right. So next thing on our list this morning is to talk about Ethanex public exchange.
Yes, that's come out. There's been some conversations going on about ETHFinex. ETHFinex, there is a public Bitcoin exchange called Bitfinex, and they're one of the better known public exchanges for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Bitfinex recently announced that they're creating another public exchange called ETHFinex, and it is for Ethereum assets. It's specifically for Ethereum assets. So we're excited about it. We're following them very closely. I went to contact them this week to get Nexxus, registered on there, and I found out that they are still in development. They're in pre-beta. They're not even in beta yet. So we're following them closely, and as soon as we can get a hold of someone or have an option, we're going to be working on getting the Nexxus token listed on ETHFinex public exchange, just to let you know where that's at. They are not live yet. They're still in development, but that's kind of exciting news. The other thing I really liked about it, as I was reading their website, is their strategy with ETHFinex is to move to a decentralized public exchange, just like EtherDelta. So that's good news too. As the industry is maturing, we're seeing that the strategy is to move more and more towards decentralization. All of the failures in the industry have pretty much been tied to centralization. We get this whole concept of Bitcoin and his virtues of decentralization, and then we've come out with solutions like wallets and public exchanges that were centralized solutions, and that's where the hackers went. The hackers went where there was a big store of assets that they could attack and try to steal. Sometimes they were successful, many times they're not. So decentralization is the right solution. It just hasn't been implemented in all the services in the Bitcoin infrastructure ecosystem. But it was kind of refreshing for me to see that ETHFinex says that their strategy is to move to a decentralized public exchange. So good news there.
That is fantastic. And in all of my life, I never knew that decentralization would become one of my favorite things. So it's not even a sexy word, but it's just the whole concept of it is just incredible. And it was a word that I never even hardly used most of my life, and I bet a lot of people were feeling the same way. So and Kelly and I have been in this crypto space for 3 years, just talking about, and decentralization has been our core emphasis on everything. So again, moving forward, looking forward and forward thinking, everything is becoming decentralized, and it's so beautiful because that's where the freedom lies.
It sure is. It sure is. And decentralization, that's kind of the feature, that's the technical term. To me, I look at the benefit of decentralization. That's power to the people. That's what it all boils down to, is put the power back in the hands of the people. That's what decentralization really means.
Absolutely, and it takes action on our part, and we're doing it here at Nexxus Partners for sure. All right, you wanted to talk about CoinMD.
Yeah, CoinMD, just a quick update for folks. I'm not going to talk a lot on this, but someone contacted me recently and said, hey, Bob, new project popped up. What about CoinMD? So I said, well, let me check it out. So I did some, I always go to Google and I type in the company name space scam, and that'll find all the information about a particular company. This one is horrendous. CoinMD is a new company. The website just came up in May. It says it was just registered. The domain name, coinmd.io, is just registered on May 3rd. So it just popped up. But the founder of the company is infamous. His name is Tom McMurrian. Any of you who followed OneCoin will recognize his name. He was the face of OneCoin. He was like one of the biggest promoters of OneCoin. I wouldn't be surprised if he was raking in over $1 million a month. I don't know for sure, but I just know by his visibility, and like, he was the main promoter of OneCoin. He lives in the United States. He lives in Atlanta. For those of you who may not know, OneCoin actually is dead. We haven't really talked about that much, but in January, OneCoin announced that you could no longer sell your OneCoins. You were stuck with them. Before, they were saying, yeah, you could sell your OneCoins back to the OneCoin private exchange for 1% of your coins a day. The reality was, before that, I found out from several insiders that they were denying the majority of the requests people were placing to sell their coins. And the requests were being made at their private exchange site, which was xcoinx.com. Well, so most people couldn't even get their coins sold. But in January, they announced that xcoinx.com was closing down, and it's been closed ever since. I just checked it this morning. It says under maintenance, and it's been like that since January. So what, 8 months? It's been closed. So OneCoin is no longer allowing people to sell their OneCoins. They're stuck with it. So it's dead. And one of their biggest promoters, it was Tom McMurrian. He left that, of course, because there was no more money to be made, scam people with, and he started his own company doing the exact same thing, selling coins, which is interesting in the light of last week's announcements from the SEC that any of these companies that are selling coins are illegal, selling unregistered securities. So just a quick note for people. So if you run across people, hear people that are asking you about CoinMD or praising CoinMD, you'll know that it's Tom McMurrian. Also, Tom McMurrian happens to be a convicted felon. It's funny how these guys just keep popping up. Last week we talked about Bruce Bice in what are they called?
Is it BitQuick or?
BitQuick, that's right. Just had a mind blank. Bruce Bice with BitQuick. He was a convicted felon in prison for 5 years. Well, Tom McMurrian was convicted in 2005 of Ponzi scheme, mail fraud and wire fraud. He was running a Ponzi scheme, and he was convicted to 87 months in prison in 2005. And then he came out and started getting involved in other pyramid schemes. So that's the nature of the people behind this. We talked, last week about, as you look at these things, you got to look at the people and look at the products and see if they're both real. See if the people are trustworthy and competent, and then see if the product's real, if it provides real value to the marketplace that retail consumers are willing to pay for outside of any income opportunity. So another update, CoinMD, another scam, another complete, we don't know if it's a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme. It all depends on the structure on that, but you don't have to look any further once you look at the people behind it. So that's an update on CoinMD, a little update on OneCoin also. To me, that spells opportunity, because I've met many people that have been involved in these various scams, cryptocurrency scams, and there are many good people that have just been tricked, been cheated into believing because they just didn't know. They didn't have the advantage of Nexxus University to learn what cryptocurrency really is. So to me, that's an opportunity that there are many good people out there that now have got a taste of cryptocurrency and looking for a new home. So that, to me, that spells opportunity for all of us to give those people a new home with a legitimate opportunity, a legitimate cryptocurrency services company to make real money.
Right, and it's really become a crucial time as well, because as the Main Street people are becoming aware of cryptocurrency, not just through MLM, but through cryptocurrency in general, there's a lot of ICOs out there, there's a lot of coins out there that they really need the fundamentals to know what they're doing. So I appreciate the knowledge that we get here from everything from the SEC information to the MLM companies that are popping up, and even the ICOs out there that are popping up as well, just to get informed. So when either we're looking at something or we come across someone that's looking for something, we'll have the knowledge to be able to take them to places, and so they have the foundation. But again, guys, encourage everybody to get the fundamentals here at the university. It is the best wealth you can give to yourself, and because we know that knowledge is the true wealth. So and you know, I have people a lot of times say, I don't have the 20 hours. Look, you got 30 minutes a day. It's the best gift you can give yourself. So anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Go
You know,
ahead.
Kelly, you reminded me that you know, true freedom seekers, when you talk about leadership, true freedom seekers are trying to empower the people to be independent. If you want to try to, you know, test a politician or a statesman, find out, you know, how good they are, find out if their policies are really trying to empower the people to be independent, or are they trying to hold the people under their thumb and be dependent, you know, on them, whether, you know, whether it's leadership, whether it's government, whatever it is. Nexxus is really trying to empower the people. We want the people to have this knowledge. We're not trying to keep it from the people. It's kind of like back when the printing press was first created. There was an uproar, you know, in various organizations, you know, like the Catholic Church, that didn't want the people reading the Bible. They want to say, just listen to what we say it says. I don't want to put down any particular religion, but you know, the establishment was trying to, in many cases, hold the people back and not have the knowledge that they could benefit from, to not be independent. They wanted them to be dependent on their organization, whatever that may be. We are just the opposite at Nexxus. We're not trying to trick the people or fool the people and believe our spin on what cryptocurrency is. We want them to study it out for themselves. We want them to gain their own testimony of what cryptocurrency is so they can make their own decisions. But that's just a key principle that drives what we're doing here at Nexxus.
Absolutely. All right, well, good stuff. Well, we know you've been busy this week doing great positive things for the company, and you created another fabulous document, a value creation document, Nexxus Token Value Creation.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Kelly to bring it up on the screen, and let's read through that together. I think it really answers some questions, basic questions people have about how we plan on creating value for the Nexxus token. Kelly, do you have that? There we go. So I'll read through it, and forgive me for reading, but I think that's the best way to deliver it. This is all about how we how we plan on creating value for the Nexxus token. Many future and current Nexxus token holders may ask the question, how will Nexxus create value for the Nexxus token? The Nexxus token is the internal currency of the Nexxus ecosystem, which creates buyer demand for the Nexxus token. Buyer demand for the Nexxus token on the open market creates an increase in price. And we've talked about before, buyer demand increases price, seller demand decreases price. The following estimates represent internal demand only and do not attempt to estimate the public demand from the successful deployment of the Nexxus ecosystem, which in reality probably is the larger demand that will drive the price of the coin is the public demand that's created, also referred to as the speculative trading. We know that that's short-term and not long-term, but what we're discussing in this document is the internal demand. The short-term demand, the establishment of the affiliate sales force creates a short-term demand for the Nexxus token. Sales affiliates earn sales commissions for marketing the Nexxus University cryptocurrency educational courses. Sales affiliates are motivated to take a portion of their sales commission in Nexxus tokens in order to benefit from the longer-term appreciation potential of the Nexxus token. Commissions paid in Nexxus tokens are purchased from the open market, creating buyer demand with an accompanying price increase. So that's kind of a short-term demand that will be created fairly quickly just from our own sales affiliate who are bought in and believers of the whole Nexxus business plan, and they want to acquire the tokens as well to take advantage of the potential appreciation of those tokens. Now the long-term demand, if you'll scroll up a little bit more, that's really the long-term strategy. Strategically, the long-term value creation will come from every transaction done by Nexxus merchants in the Nexxus Rewards program. Every transaction pays reward points regardless if the payment is made in cash, credit cards, Bitcoin, or any other currency. Reward points are created from Nexxus tokens that are purchased on the open market, again creating automatic buyer demand and a price increase. Now let's look at the sales force potential. The Nexxus sales force is incentivized to create teams of sales affiliates, which they can earn override bonuses on. This creates an exponential growth pattern proven by many successful direct sales companies. Those that are experienced in the direct sales industry have seen this exponential growth pattern. It's different from corporate America, where you just see linear growth typically. In a successful direct sales company, you can actually see an exponential growth pattern. Nexxus estimates an average of $50 a month in sales per sales affiliate, and a commission withdrawal of 20% in Nexxus coins. Those just estimates, the variables we used in these estimates. So we looked at what would that mean in Nexxus tokens being purchased monthly based on the size of our affiliate sales force with those variables. You know, with 10,000 sales affiliates at $50 a month, that would be $500,000 in sales, monthly sales from that sales force. The commissions, we've estimated the commissions here, actual commissions at about 65%, so about 325,000 of that 500,000 being paid back out to our affiliates in sales commissions. That's very attractive sales commission in itself. If 20% of those are being taken in tokens, then there's $65,000 being purchased Nexxus tokens on the open market to create buyer demand for the token. And you can see in this table here as it continues to go up, when we have 25,000 affiliates, you get $162,000 of tokens being purchased. Up to 100,000 affiliates, you've got $650,000 in tokens purchased every month just in the affiliates taking some of their sales commissions out in the Nexxus tokens. The 777 plan uses this suggestion of saying, you know, whatever you earn as you're earning the big money through the 777 plan, take 20% of those earnings and take it in the Nexxus tokens, because then you can leverage the appreciation potential of those tokens. Again, the real win, though, is on the Nexxus Rewards program. That's the heart of Nexxus, is the Nexxus Rewards program. Shoppers earn Nexxus reward points as they purchase from local Nexxus merchants. As the communities of shoppers and merchants grows, the average monthly spend per shopper increases. Nexxus estimates an average monthly spend of $100 per shopper and an average cashback reward of 10%, and that's from the merchant. And a retention rate of 30% in unredeemed reward points. So as shoppers receive rewards, they're going to use those rewards also. But what's typical in the research that's been done on loyalty points and gift certificates is that there usually is at least 30% of loyalty points that never get redeemed. So we kind of look at that as an upside on the reward points. So if you look at with 1 million shoppers spending $100 a month, you've got $100 million in merchant sales, and this is every month. And if 10% of if the merchant is offering 10% in cashback rewards, that means that $10 million is going out. There's $10 million of trading volume created just from the Nexxus Rewards platform, going out and buying the tokens to give the Nexxus Reward points to the shopper. So that's $10 million in trading volume. If our estimate of 30% just remains unredeemed, then you've got a positive $3 million in token purchases. That's buyer demand versus seller demand. When people go and redeem their tokens, that actually is a sell on the open market, because those tokens that they redeem are then sold in the open market for the prevailing price, and that money is what the merchant gets for accepting those tokens. So we've got a $3 million upside on just 1 million shoppers. At 5 million shoppers, you got $15 million upside. That's buyer demand on the Nexxus token. On up in this chart, 25 million shoppers, you had $75 million of buyer demand monthly on the Nexxus token. These couple examples I just showed you here, just our Salesforce and the Nexxus Rewards platform, that's all internal buyer demand creation. That's all what we're driving ourselves. These estimates above do not include buyer demand from public speculation. Right now, if you look at all the cryptocurrency, go into coinmarketcap.com, all of that trading volume, that is all public speculation. All of that is. Can you imagine what would happen when people see the success of the Nexxus ecosystem and see how we're creating real utility, the buyer demand that we're creating internally, how that's going to drive the public demand for the Nexxus token. So I want to put this together just to share with you some numbers on how we are creating value for the Nexxus token internally, and how that will in turn drive the public confidence in Nexxus.
Incredible. I mean, just those numbers right there, incredible. And again, like you said, internal. So guys, think about this. This is the core team. This is the Nexxus Partners creating this value. And we all know that they've been here for a while, that in cryptocurrency, buyer demand is what drives up the value of a coin, and selling depletes the value. So we're all talking about buyer demand here, driving up the value of the Nexxus, or I should say token. And
Yep.
so incredible.
Yeah, let me share another statistic here for you. We look at the affiliate program with the university. That's going to attract a lot of affiliates. That number of 100,000 affiliates is not unrealistic at all. That's very realistic. We also see that creates great income opportunity for all of our affiliates. It creates good revenue, cash flow for the company to accomplish its goals. But it also does something else that is very strategic. The University Affiliate Program is a feeder program for Nexxus Rewards. A percentage of those Nexxus University affiliates will step up and say, hey, I want to be involved in Nexxus Rewards. I want to roll up my sleeves, go to work, become trained and certified to be able to go out and talk to merchants and set up merchants and make the big long-term money. I think that there's bigger money in Nexxus Rewards for our affiliates. University provides great money, but it's kind of it's upfront. It's fast money, upfront money. But I figure that we'll be conservatively estimating, maybe 5 to 10%, of all of our general affiliates in the university, are going to step up and say, hey, I'd like to, make an additional commitment and put in what's required to become a qualified affiliate for Nexxus Rewards. So if you take 100,000 affiliates, and let's say 10% of those become qualified affiliates in Nexxus Rewards, that's 10,000. If those 10,000 qualified affiliates just create a shopper network of 1,000 shoppers, that's 1,000 shoppers. That's what we're estimating that you could build with one merchant. But if each of those 10,000 people just do 1,000 shopper networks, you're at 10 million already just there. Now, we are fully expecting each qualified affiliate to be setting up at least 5 1,000 shopper networks, setting up 5 merchants, and then creating 1,000 shoppers underneath those merchants. So that is just at 10,000. We're expecting them to do 5,000 shoppers each. You're really talking, 50 million shoppers being registered just from 10,000 qualified affiliates. So a few more numbers to throw at you, that these numbers actually are fairly conservative. My own internal numbers, optimistic numbers are much greater than these numbers here, but I always like to publicly post conservative numbers.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, Michael has a question here. while we're talking about this document, because you mentioned Nexxus tokens, does the term Nexxus tokens officially replace Nexxus coin?
We still keep in the site nexxuscoin.com. Matter of fact, I probably ought to go check Nexxus token. Probably someone will go do that for me right now while I'm talking. But we still have the Nexxus coin, and we refer to it generically as the Nexxus coin, but we're starting to rephrase everything as Nexxus token, just so people can correlate that to an Ethereum token. But we use them both interchangeably.
All right, that sounds good. All right, and you also mentioned the 7-7 plan, and Michael says that Spanish will be available in the next day or two. The audio and the on-screen context are all in Spanish. All right, thank you, Michael. Well, these are incredible numbers, Bob. Great to hear. It really gets people's wheels going. I know it does mine. Just to reiterate the power of this critical mass that we are creating. So again, I do believe that you're showing us conservative numbers here. So hold on to your hats, people.
Yeah, let me add also. You brought the 7-7 plan, or I brought it up, and you repeated. The 7-7-7 plan is not a new compensation plan. It is a different perspective on the existing compensation plan for the university. It is not a new compensation. People have asked me about that. I said, "Oh, well, how's the new? What happened to the old compensation plan?" And I said, "No, the old compensation plan is still the current compensation plan. It's still in place. We just looked at the current compensation plan for the university from a different perspective and said, hey, if you focus on these things, these elements in the current plan, this is how you could maximize your earning potential." And it's designed, 7-7-7 plan is designed for serious leaders. It's not necessarily designed for everyone. It's designed for serious leaders that want to get involved and make some great money legally and legitimately with Nexxus University. So people know 777 is not a new compensation plan. It's just a different packaging, a different way of working the existing compensation plan.
Hey Bob, another important thing to recognize here is that if you don't do the 777 plan as it is scripted, even if you just do part of it, where are you going to be? If you apply if you just go out there and apply it and you only get a half or even a third of the results, I mean, that's why we did this, so you can see whatever level of effort that you put into it, this is the way to go about it. And if you shoot for the moon, you may get there, but if you don't, you'll still be very successful.
Yeah, we had another tool we created, Kelly, this week, and I worked on this, created, refined it over the weekend, last weekend, throughout this week. But let's show everyone the new Nexxus graphical business summary. If Kelly can bring that up. This was an idea presented by one of our affiliates, one of our friends in the company, that said, hey, there's so many moving pieces in Nexxus, it would really be cool if I could just look at a picture to see how all these pieces interrelate. So we created this graphical business summary that you're looking at right now on the screen. You can see all the pieces. You can see the Nexxus Partners in the middle with a green ring about it. That's the focal point. You can see how the financial tyranny and the empowering the people leads right into Nexxus's value proposition. You can see the pieces of Nexxus Partners. If you click on each item, then you can view details on those. Everything on here is clickable. So this is a graphical business summary where you get the big picture by looking at the graph, the picture, but you can drill down and click on any of the items, and then there's short blurbs about everything you click on. And we've got some great positive feedback on this, that people can see the big picture better just by looking at this picture of our business, of the Nexxus business. And then they can learn more about the details on it, so they don't have to read a executive summary, literally from the top to the bottom of the document. They can click around and then study and review whatever they want to. So this has turned out to be a great great tool. It is on the Nexxus Partners website under white papers. At the very top of the white paper section says executive summary. Well, the very first button up there now says executive summary graphical in English. So that's what you can access it there. We got such positive feedback on this, we went ahead and made this one of your marketing tools. So you have now in your back office under presentations, marketing presentations, you'll see graphical business summary as one of your presentations. There it comes right there. So the third one down says graphical business summary. That is now you have a personalized version that you can share this with people to do the presentation. It's not a sit back and watch a video, it's more interactive. So it's the type of thing you may want to walk through someone on the presentation and then let them click around. But it's another tool for you. I think we've got the two newest tools we have, which I think is a nice pair, and I've already used this, is the Bitcoin Gold Rush as a lead page, just to get people thinking about, especially if they're already exposed to cryptocurrency, get them thinking about where the real value is, where the real opportunity is to make money with the Bitcoin Gold Rush. And to spoil the secret for you, it's in providing the services to support the industry. So I use this as a lead page with someone, and then after they say that's interesting, I'd like to know more from watching this 2-minute video, then I present to them the graphical business summary and say, here's what Nexxus is. Here's how Nexxus is real and legitimate, and here's the substance behind Nexxus. So I find that as a great marketing pair, this Bitcoin Gold Rush and the graphical business summary, as I'm working with prospects, talking with them.
That's a great combination. Excellent. I'll be doing that today. All right. Let me see here if we've got any questions or comments.
Oh, we had one more thing also.
Okay.
We created a new custom link for everyone to the graphical business summary. We have a new domain name. We've actually owned this for a while, but we've just now making it publicly available. It's called nexxuspeople.com. You can go to your username.nexxuspeople.com, and it will bring up your graphical business summary, your personalized version of the graphical summary. So if you want to, when you're ready to share this to someone who has stepped up and said, that's interesting, I'd like to know more, then you can share with them your username.nexxuspeople.com, and that will take them right to that graphical business summary that you were just looking at. So you have 3 referral links now. You've got Nexxus University, Nexxus Partners, and Nexxus People, all .coms, and your username in front of either of those, any of those 3 links. So those give you 3 direct marketing tools that you can use in doing your prospecting.
Right, exactly. And we cover that on the Kelly and Kelly's this week for anybody that missed that. So great to have all 3 of those links because they all for different things. Like the university is geared to retail and partners, so and this one right here is definitely the one you want to give to people coming in as affiliates. So great stuff. I mean, it just continues. We have so much to work with back here to build our business and with this business solution. So everybody should be utilizing all that comes out. And it's nice that we're continuing to get new stuff as well. It really does help people, Bob, so appreciate it very much. All right, then. You had, I guess, a business consultant visit this week?
Yes, we did. Last Friday, we had a business consultant fly into Dallas to meet with us on the management team, and he met with Gary, and I were available and met with him and discussed with him several things. He's not a network marketer. He is a full-fledged business consultant in the healthcare industry. But he caught wind of what we were doing at Nexxus. He became interested and asked if he could fly down and meet with us. So we spent the whole day. We spent a long day. I think it was like 9 hours we spent with this individual, and we were very impressed with him and discussed options for him to possibly assist us on a business advisory board. But he is, he's the caliber of some of the high-paid consulting firms that I've worked with, like McKinsey or Boston Consulting Group. He goes in and helps companies with strategies and tactics on how to execute on their plans. So we really enjoyed that. And I thought it would be good for me to share with you some excerpts from some of the feedback he gave us. And he wrote a few things, and hopefully he'll be okay with me for sharing this. I won't share anything that was confidential in here. But he wrote to us and said, once again, in an email to us, he said, once again, I want to thank you both for your time and hospitality last Friday. I enjoyed our dialogue immensely and so appreciate the candor with which you discussed the current state of Nexxus Partners. The metaphor that came to mind early on as I studied your company and was confirmed during our discussions was that you have built a finely tuned, handcrafted Ferrari-like vehicle. The parts already built out have been constructed to run reliably with precision and speed once started. In fact, it seems the engine is started and ready to be put into gear. One senses that you not only know how to make, but also how to drive this remarkable machine, and you have knowledge of your destination. You know where you want to go. He went on further to say, it is good to know the company has sound leadership with a significant amount of experience in the disciplines required for success in this particular business. I sense a strong ethical base. My rule is, when in doubt, don't. And I suspect you are committed to doing what is right as well. And then he went on to say, and this is a part that that I enjoyed the most because it was more of an action plan. He said, I do wonder how well you resist the temptation to get distracted given all the moving parts and major tasks ahead. I know I would struggle with this challenge. It is so easy to get diluted and accomplish little while trying to accomplish everything. This is why I recommend the book, The 4 Disciplines of Execution. The disciplines are, number 1, focus on the few wildly important goals, which he calls WIGs, W-I-G, which are your lagging measures of success. Number 2, act on the leading measures that drive the WIGs. Number 3, keep a compelling scorecard, visual where it can be seen daily. And number 4, create a cadence of review and accountability. This is especially important if in addition, you are working with talkers who do not follow through. And he puts in parentheses, all hooey and no dooey. I love that. As I mentioned, I am fond of the question, what time before 3 p.m. next Tuesday will you have that completed? So that's really getting down to accountability. And as we said, it is always good to know where the spotlight is. Beyond the WIGs, everything else is whirlwind, as the book calls it, and will keep you from focusing on the 80-20, what will ensure your success, end quote. Great feedback from this individual. I really enjoyed our time with him. I enjoyed his expertise and his humility and his advice to us. And in summary, again, because this was information he was giving us for our own corporate management of Nexxus, but I also thought that it was really applicable to each individual affiliate. You know, how do you measure your success? How do you execute on your business plan to be successful? And I want to repeat those 4 points again, the 4 disciplines of execution. I've already ordered the book and it's on its way from Amazon, and I'm looking forward to reading that, but I didn't want to wait till the book got here before I started putting my plans in place following his great advice. But number 1, focus on the few wildly important goals, which are your lagging measures of success. It's so easy to be distracted by everything that we're doing, everything you're doing as an affiliate. There's so many things you could be doing. You need to focus on the few wildly important goals. And those are usually, you know, the revenue generating goals that you want to focus on. There are a lot of things you can do, allocate a little time for that, but make sure you're focused on the wildly important goals, which the book calls WIGs, W-I-G. Number 2, act on the leading measures that drive the WIGs. The leading measures are, what are those activities you're doing daily that will lead you to the results of your wildly important goals? What are those leading measures, leading indicators they've also referred to? So that's important to act on those leading measures. Number 3, keep a compelling scorecard. Too many times we're too busy doing, and we don't stop, as Stephen Covey would say, we don't stop to sharpen the saw. We keep sawing away, the blade's getting duller and duller, and we're working harder and harder and not getting any better results because we don't stop to sharpen the saw. And apparently in this book, sharpening the saw means keep a compelling scorecard so you can see the scoreboard, so you can see see your activities and how those are leading into results, and to stop and review what you're doing, review how those points are being accumulating on your scorecard. Create a cadence of review and accountability. I loved these 4 points here, and I've been thinking through and dreaming about those ever since last Friday, as I was getting this advice from this individual. Now, it was also refreshing to note and to be able to provide feedback to this consultant that we have many of these things in place already. Your business success starts with these leading indicators. In your affiliate back office, we also refer to as your affiliate portal, the very first box is called Getting Started, and one of the buttons in there is called Getting Started Guide. And this is to help you get started with your Nexxus business. Step 4 of that Getting Started is called Schedule Your Prospecting. In there, you're going to find 2 calculators. One is an activity calculator. Kelly, could you bring that up, please? That's the most important one, because we talk about leading indicators of success are really the activities that you do that lead you to the results that you desire. And we'll start referring to those as your WIGs, your wildly important goals. But this activity calculator, this is in your back office. You can link right to this. Sufficient activities produce significant results. Your success is based on developing leaders. Your goal is to develop 3 legs, each with 3 leaders deep. Your leaders will emerge from a sales process that starts with talking to contacts. Some will view your lead page, some of those will watch your presentation, and some of those will become Cryptocurrency Enlightened, taking the intro course, and some of those will join your team. So there's a we call it a pipeline. It's called a sales channel, and many of you have seen that sales funnel, where you got to pump a lot of people into the front end to get the few qualified people to pop out at the end of that funnel. It's a numbers game, and every no gets you closer to yes. The conversion rate at each step of the sales process will vary and improve with your experience. Refine your conversion estimates over time to see how many contacts you will need to make to recruit team members and develop team leaders. You'll see on here there's some numbers you can play with. There's 5 numbers here. If Kelly will scroll up a little bit. This helps you get a better feel, and you can relate to the activities that you need to do. This tells you that if you want to recruit 1 team member, and I'm calling this a qualified team member, then you've got to go through this process. And I've defined it here as a 5-step sales funnel. You got to first open your mouth and talk to people. How many contacts do you make? Do you have to make that'll lead to someone you talk to viewing your lead page, watching your Bitcoin Gold Rush video? Is it 1 out of 3? In this default example, we said, what if you got 1 out of 3 people you talk to? You open your mouth and talk to them about cryptocurrency. Don't make a presentation. Just start a conversation. You got a few seconds to get their attention. That's all you're trying to do. And then just do not try to deliver the message. Just invite them to watch the lead page. If you can get 1 out of 3, then you got a 33% conversion rate of talking to people and getting them to watch a lead page. After they watch the lead page, how many of those will view the presentation? How many of those will you be able to show the graphical business summary to? Is it 1 out of 3? Who knows? Your experience, may be different. It may be better. It may be worse than this. Of those who watch the presentation, how many of those will take the Cryptocurrency Enlightenment course? Some may just jump directly to joining your team, some may want to know more and want to take the course. But this is the process you go through. These are what we call your leading indicators. If you monitor your activities and your progress with these activities to see what activities are leading to the results, your end goal is to build a team of leaders. One of the interesting statistics on here also is, of all the people you qualify to join your team, how many of those become leaders? We put a default here, 1 out of 10. Your numbers may vary. But this gives you an idea of how much work you have to do. Just with these numbers here that we have, this basically says to be able to recruit one team member, and I like to say qualified team member, you're going to have to talk to 36 people with these conversion rates. So let's get real with the work you have to do with your business. So don't get frustrated when you get some no's for some people. Every no gets you closer to a yes. So you know the work you have to do to build your team. If these numbers reflect your conversion rates, then you got to open your mouth and talk to 36 people to get a team member. If you want to get 1 member per month, if your goal is to get 1 new member on your team each month, which isn't bad because you'd have like 12 people in a year, qualified people, then you need to open your mouth and at least talk to 9 people a week. That's not hard at all. That's one person, a little over 1 person a day. Just said right here, 1.22 contacts per day. And then you can go on and see, what's it take if you want to recruit a real leader on your team. You got to talk to 367 people. If you wanted to get 1 leader per quarter, you got to talk to 20. You got to open your mouth 28 times a week to do that. So that's 4 times a day to develop a leader. So this just gets you an idea. I just want to present this to you. This has been in your back office for a long time, but wanted to bring it out again for you to show this is a tool for you to help to understand your leading indicators. What are the activities that you should be doing to indicate how much success you're really having? So please apply this to your affiliate business. And find out from experience what your conversion rates are. You may find you have better success in these numbers. And you can play all these white boxes, these 5 white boxes at the top, you can edit those. If you said, hey, when everyone I show a lead page to, they want to see the presentation, or, 1 out of 2, maybe it's 50% conversion rate going from lead page to presentation. So change that to 50 and then see how that reflects the activities in the blue boxes that you need to do to get the results that you need. So you have this tool back there, and you can get to it from the Getting Started guide in your Getting Started box, which is the first box in your affiliate portal. At the very top left-hand corner, you'll see Getting Started guide. Click on that. Step 4 is scheduling your prospecting, and that's where you get this activity calculator. Along with that activity calculator, there's also a bonus calculator. It automatically calculates your bonuses based on your recruiting activities. So if your goals are financial, use the bonus calculator to plug in those financial goals or back into your financial goals to see, what do I have to build? And then once you do that, now go back to your activity calculator and say, okay, to build that, how much activity do I need to do on a weekly and daily basis? Break everything down to its smallest unit. Break it down to the daily activities. What do I need to do each day? How many people do I need to talk to? I have found when I go to the grocery store with my wife, I found you can do great prospecting right at the grocery store. I'm in the produce section, and you're just around people, and I like talking to people, so I'll just make comments to people or smile at someone, and people naturally will smile back. They'll naturally, it's easy to start a conversation with people. So it's easy to open your mouth and talk to people. It's just how many people. So go out in the public where it's shopping, at the grocery store, if you're in malls, go where people are and just mingle and have conversations with people. You don't have to be salesy at all. You can just be friendly. That's all you got to do. But it's important. I love the feedback we got from this particular consultant. I'm not sharing his name here because I don't have his privilege, his permission to do that. But he's a great guy and a great consultant, providing us some great advice on how to get results. It's one thing to have a plan. It's one thing to have a dream. It's one thing to have your why you're doing the business. It's another thing, and this is probably, he'd probably agree with me on this, this is probably the one, the biggest indicator of a company's success or failure is how well they execute on their business plan. And so, so we spent a lot of time talking with him on execution plan. What are we doing on a daily basis to execute that plan? You know, not just waste your time putting out brush fires every day, because that's easy to do. That's a nice distraction that always gets in everyone's way. It is putting out brush fires. We become, we find ourselves in a reactive mode rather than in a proactive mode. So we want to be successful in business. Let's start doing a better job of managing our business professionally and actually executing on our plans and executing on those things that are most important, our wildly important goals. So tools for you, and very important message to leave with you on our call here on what you can do. But this bonus calculator is very powerful. You can select the title. It automatically calculates all the bonuses that you would qualify for based on the size of the organization. You may find that everyone you recruit only does 3, but you can do 10. You may have 10 front level, but your average person is just doing 3. So that's why you broke out those different numbers, how many you personally recruit and how many your average downline would be recruiting. So you can play with those numbers, and then you can see what your earning potential is on that. That'll help you back into what your financial goals are. Kelly's, I know you have a lot of input on this, but this gives people some real tools to execute on their business, to really be successful. Stop dreaming and start working.
There you go. And just remember, it's really just sharing freedom with people and in this movement. So I don't really consider it work. So, and I know you don't either. So it's enjoyable what we're doing. So, and another tool that you mentioned here is also the productivity tool that we have in our back office. So you can keep yourself accountable for what you're doing each and every day.
Absolutely. We talked about having a cadence of review and accountability. We have another tool in your back office. Kelly, bring up the productivity tools in your back office. In your affiliate portal, there's a menu called productivity. This productivity tool, I built this years ago for one of my clients. It is a standalone product called an activity tracker. I've included it in the Nexxus back office for free. This activity tracker was being sold for $10 to $15 per person with this other client of mine. It was World Ventures. They were using this very successfully, and it was called Activity Tracker. There's a mobile version for it. They could go and easily log their activities. So this is a tool for you to be accountable to yourself. But it's a really cool tool, and it's been matured through professional use through some other direct sales companies. But you can go in and log your activities, and then you can be accumulating activity points. You can log results. You can look at all kinds of graphical reports on that. There's a leaderboard to see how you're doing compared to other people. You can see what track you're running on by the number of points you're accumulating. There's like 5 different tracks depending on how serious you are with your business. But this is a very, very powerful tool. If the Kellys probably have already done a session on it, but this would be a great topic for the Kelly and Kelly show, is do an overview on the whole activity tracker, which is your productivity menu option there. This fits hand in hand with the strategy of measuring your leading indicators for executing on your business. So this is a great tool. It's a hands-on tool for you to measure your leading indicators for your business. Here's a leaderboard. You can see here, there's Kelly Killian's got, she's looking now at all activity, all points she's earned on different activities. This particular tool measures both activities and results. Your results, I would call your WIGs, your wildly important goals. Your activities, I would call your leading indicators. But this tool, this activity tracker tool, this would be a great complement to the book. We probably ought to contact the author of the book and let them know about this activity tracker tool, because it fits hand in hand with the whole strategy behind the 4 disciplines of execution. But this is in your back office. This is available for free. I think maybe we made a mistake of giving away for free because people don't value things as much to give away for free. But this is such a valuable tool along with everything else in your back office. This is one of the most powerful and comprehensive marketing systems in the direct sales industry, if not in corporate America. That we provide to all our affiliates at no charge at all, because we want our affiliates to be successful. Our success is going to come from the success of our affiliates, not off the backs of our affiliates. I don't know how many times I've said that, but our affiliates are our partners, hence the name Nexxus Partners.
You know, I'm just sitting here thinking, Bob, we got all these tools to help us build this business solution. We've got, well, what we're actually sharing with people is a technology that is going to encompass the whole planet, and we're at the very front of it. We're on the forefront of it. We're on the front line. You know, and that's, to me, freedom is really our product. We have a lot in our ecosystem to support that freedom, but you got all these tools back here that are free. We know that being on the right side of the quadrant with a business solution is the way to build leveraged income. It's the only way to build a leveraged passive income, and also to have the ability to be part of a community here where we continuously grow in many, many different ways that affect our daily lives. So for anybody to be affiliated back here and not take advantage and use these tools, do so if you're not. We talk about these some on Kelly and Kelly. I'll emphasize a lot of this tomorrow on the back office training as well. It's incredible what we have. And also, I'll add, our compensation plans are by far greater than any compensation plan you'll find out there, which Bob's created. So, and again, like your business consultant said, he sees that you have the experience, and you have the experience in all these levels, all these different arenas, and then brought it together here at Nexxus Partners. So we are in an incredible spot right here. And like you said, all you got to do is go out there and make conversations. Go make a friend today is what I tell people on the show. Go make a friend today. If you've talked to everybody you know, go out and talk to somebody you don't know and make a friend, right? So,
yep. You know, we've given some advice out, you know, to all the affiliates on how to do a better job of executing their business, but we're taking this to heart internally also. So we're putting together our own execution plan. And here's something I can announce today. What we're doing for part of our execution plan, I am going to be inviting any leaders that are on this call, any leaders. I'm going to invite them to step up and make a commitment to us to be part of our leadership team, to make a commitment on their activities that they're going to be doing, so that we can look at that as a whole from a corporate perspective and say, you know, we have a plan in place. We are going to be doing these activities, and we have our own internal activities now that we're going to start monitoring more aggressively to accomplish our goals, to lead us, to get the leaders on board, to support them all we can, and start measuring our activities internally. What are we doing to lead us to those wildly important goals, the WIGs? So here's an invitation we're announcing right now. Anyone here on this call that would like to step up and be part of our leadership team, and that means that we're gonna require of you to make a commitment and to make a commitment in the leading measures to drive your WIGs. We're probably going to ask you to answer the 4 questions for us, to at least to identify your wildly important goals. We'll ask you to put this in writing for us, and I'll formalize this more after this call, and I think more about this and send it out to everybody. But to identify your wildly important goals as a leader, to identify what those leading indicators are, identify the activities, and commit to meeting those activities as a member of our leadership team, and to keep a compelling scorecard, which is going to be the activity tracker. You start using the activity tracker, and that we work together as a team to create a cadence, which means a habit, create a habit of reviewing, that we do weekly reviews together, that we hold each other accountable on those reviews. It's almost like a weight loss plan. We're going to work together as a team to help each other accomplish our goals. So my invitation is now out to everyone who wants to step up in a leadership role and to follow these 4 things. I'll formalize for you, but that's our first step in let's take some action to get to our WIGs, our wildly important goals.
By the way, when you do these activities, your mentor, which is usually your sponsor, will receive an email. I do want to say that, has this changed? Because it doesn't look like it did 2 weeks ago.
I changed, if you scroll down this list here, all I did was I reordered, scroll down to the personal activities.
Okay.
Scroll down a little bit there.
Oh,
Yeah, because
there they are.
yeah, when you log activities, logging activities, there's 4 major categories of activities you can log. They're your personal activities for your own productivity, and then there's your leadership activities for the activities you do to support your team. And then there are your personal results and your leadership results. So it's the top of this list is results first. I think it's personal results and then leadership results. Yeah, personal result and then leadership result. And then there's personal activity and leadership activity. So you're going to log first the activities. I probably should switch these. You're going to log your activities that lead to the results. But if you look at personal activity, those are, remember I showed you the activity calculator, and I said there's a sales funnel you lead through. I just reordered these, so these first 5 steps are those 5 steps in that sales funnel. It's open your mouth and talk to someone, share cryptocurrency knowledge, talk to someone, and then share a lead page, then share a presentation. You could either just send them a presentation or schedule the presentation and make the presentation with them. That's more effective. So you actually get more points on that one. So I put those things which were the I call them the leading indicators to recruiting as the first things in that list of logging personal activities. So that's the only thing that's changed, Kelly. I reordered those a little bit.
All right. Great tool. Absolutely great tool. We do have some questions. Michael wants you to show the Spanish lead pages, Kelly, that they're at the bottom of the list of lead pages, just so people will know where to find them. And while Kelly's scrolling down there, Joyce Becker says she loves the graphical business summary. Best tool ever. Yes, it is, Joyce. I don't know, Kelly Ann might love it more than you, but you're both up there. So it is.
I was just thinking,
absolutely.
As I've worked with companies and helping them create business plans, and I probably, gosh, I know I've probably written over 30 business plans just for clients and whatnot. It just dawned on me, man, this would be a great tool just for businesses in general to create a graphical executive summary. What a great way to present your business. And this wasn't my idea. This was actually an idea from our business consultant I told you about. This individual is the one who gave me this idea. And it was on Friday. And that last Friday, week ago today, he presented this idea and he said, it would really be good if I could just see a picture of all the moving pieces of Nexxus so I can kind of see how they all interrelate, and then be able to drill down on each one and then view some information behind each of those pieces. So this was his idea. It wasn't my idea. He just forced me to not get any sleep Friday night, and then I was studying and dreaming, envisioning all weekend what you're seeing now, and then we find it throughout the week. But again, this is the efforts of a team. This isn't no one individual has all the answers. It's from team effort, and this whole concept came from someone else. I just kind of pulled it together, but the idea came from this particular business consultant I told you about. He has got great business background. But I was just thinking, just in the business world, just in corporate America, what a great way to present your business idea, your business concept. Create a graphical business summary, of your business idea. So a lot of businesses could benefit from this idea, this concept right here. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. So I really thank our consultant. Until he'll let me use his name, I just want to thank him, and he's listening right now. So I want to let him know how much I appreciate his input and his expertise and his honesty and himself as a person.
Aw.
All right, fantastic. And appreciation to you, Bob, too, for reaching out to people that you know are specialists in certain fields, because all it's going to do is help create, and it is already just a tremendous business for us. So Nexxus Partners, just fantastic all the way around. I did miss one question here I think is really cool. Mark Hutchinson says, is it possible to have interest paid by means of a smart contract so not to be labor intensive?
We are working on automating that. The one thing that I wanted to introduce, and it may sound a little counter with blockchain technology, the purist, this is a little bit of theoretical, but the purist in blockchain is fully decentralized with no controls at all. My personal feeling, though, is going to be as the blockchain enters mainstream adoption, we just know from experience that not everyone is accountable and as responsible as the Kellys are. And as we'd like everyone to be. In the perfect world, everyone's perfectly responsible and everyone's perfectly accountable. Unfortunately, that's not reality. And a lot of people are going to be willing to lean on a trusted resource to handle some of that responsibility and accountability for them. So there are going to be some centralized resources. As the industry matures, those resources are going to have to be trusted and secure resources. So just in theory, I see the whole industry maturing with trusted centralized resources to a certain extent. The reason I bring that up is because we've run into situations where we could apply some centralized controls to make right some wrongs that happen. There have been some people that have been have had tokens stolen. And so we are introducing a small level of some centralized control, and by manually controlling these interest bearing on it, and I could do it through smart contract also if I added the ability for the smart contract to also consider white lists and black lists in granting the interest. That's kind of a long answer to a short question, but it is something that we want to introduce some additional controls, and those controls could possibly be fully automated. One of the things I learned in software engineering is not everything has to be automated, but we do want to try to do that, and we are working forward to that. I really apologize for that long answer.
No, that's good, because I needed to know that too, so I'm glad that Mark asked the question. So is that like an oracle? Oracles?
We have most of the interest-bearing calculations are fully automated. I actually wrote programs that read data that we get from the blockchain to identify every Nexxus token coin holder. That's all automated. I don't manually look that up. That's fully automated. I pull that from the blockchain from a program I wrote. And I wrote another program that pulls all your transactions per address and calculates minimum monthly balance. So that's all fully automated. The only thing that's not automated is the sending of the transaction and verifying the transaction actually hit. That's the transferring of the tokens for the interest bearing, the 0.5% per month on your minimum monthly balance. That's the only thing we haven't automated yet, but I'm looking at how to better automate that as well.
So I think the best way to answer that is that we are basically doing that off chain.
Yes, we're doing it off chain. Now, one advantage we have on that is we're not having to pay, Ether to do all those calculations. I do it off chain. That way it's all automated. We don't have to pay in Ether for that to try to do that, in an Ethereum contract. We can do it off chain because I have the APIs that can talk directly to the Ethereum blockchain to pull the data that we need to do the calculations. That is actually very process intensive and probably would be very expensive in a Ethereum smart contract to do all the work we're doing to pull all that data from the blockchain.
Awesome answer.
Yeah, Mark Hutchinson said great answer as well. Whew, well, all right, great stuff. Okay, I believe we've got all the questions answered. If there's any more, it's your chance right now. Any more comments from anybody before we close out the call?
It's time to execute. We got to sit down and start executing on our business to make things happen. And that's what we're doing. We're gonna set the example here at corporate and invite you to join the leadership team to also be part of this whole execution movement. That's the only way we'll be successful, is start executing.
Absolutely. So guys, it's time to up your standard and change your lifestyle. Go out and get serious about this. Let's partner here with corporate and build Nexxus wide and deep and put that Nexxus green all over this planet. Very exciting what we're doing. And again, this is a movement we're in, and we're on the front line, and we have to be very strong and due diligent. So guys, thanks for being here. Be on the training tomorrow at 2 p.m. for your back office. It usually lasts about an hour. I did put the link in chat. I will be putting the link in the Skype rooms as well. We'll have it on the Facebook pages. Also, Kelly and Kelly, Mondays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. and John Williams has started a call at 9 p.m. on Sunday nights Eastern Standard Time. All those links will be out there, so you'll have it, availability to register and be on these calls and get your prospects on the calls. Just other tools to help you grow your business. So invite the people, open up your mouth and invite people to these calls. So have a great Nexxus weekend, and we'll see you back next week. Love to you all. Aloha.
Lakota.